Guys, welcome to Sip Code, and today we are looking at another cup of code. We're starting a new series. We are in the new year, 2024, so we want to look at some new developments and say new frameworks on a bit of a twist on it. We have mobile development that we want to focus on as part of our dev work. So, predominantly last year we had a lot of APIs developed, and we also showcased some Angular as well as full stack projects, but we didn't have a lot of those. So, this year we want to incorporate a lot of our development with also mobile front end development, and we will be using Ionic. So in Ionic, we can use one of three frameworks because it is a JavaScript sort of based framework. So we can use Vue, we can use React, we can use Angular. And if you are a subscriber into this channel, you know that we use Angular for our front end development projects. And because we are an Angular centric development channel, we will use the same framework in Ionic. So our projects will be based in Angular, and we'll see how we can achieve having cross-platform development where we just code once and we're able to deploy to a web, to a iOS, and also build to the stores or build deployment artifacts as well as Android APK artifacts. So we essentially want to showcase that and see how we can achieve mobile app development, and that will basically take your coding to the next level. So if you're new, please do like and subscribe, and stay tuned in the channel for more back-end, front-end, database, and the full stack development, as well as some cloud projects that we have in the channel. So please do check those out. We have a lot of AWS services that we have integrated with. So apologies for the long introduction, but I just wanted to give you a rundown of what we had on the previous year, and hence now we are opening the channel in the new year, new beginnings with a new framework that we want to look into. So let's get started. We don't want to waste a lot of time. So the first things first, we want to go to ionicframework.com, and basically it'll take you to this page right here. So I am using a Mac OS. So in Mac, if you do have npm installed, you can just run this command in your terminal, and basically you can just check for terminal, and we open a terminal over there. So what we want to do is just copy that command and paste it right there and run it. I had ran this, so I don't want the commands to like take forever running or delay us in what you want to do. So basically you just want to run that on your terminal, and then you can just go on as well here. Just go to the get started, and basically you can sign up or create an account, or you can just continue with GitHub. So that makes it easier if you do have GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket, so you can use those, whichever one you prefer. So I use the continue with GitHub because I do have Git. So I just said continue with GitHub, and basically it will take your GitHub account or ask you which one you prefer to use, then use that one, and you'll be able to sign up, authenticate, or authorize Ionic to have access to your GitHub repositories, and then it will create that specific project for you. So what we want, once you've authorized your GitHub account, to sign you up, you will get to the dashboard, which is what we have here. So I have one app, and on your dashboard it will be empty, of course, so it will just prompt you to create a new app. So we can basically come here and say create from template or import an app. So you will see the same options here if your dashboard doesn't have any projects as yet. So we can just say create from template, and let's say this is Sip Code Tut, right? And let's see, app icon, say theme color, let's just take that, and we will say that is fine. Let's see if we can have different emoji there. Let's see what we have. We just put like a robot like that. So we've got that. So that looks good. And we can basically choose or pick a theme that we want, list, menu, enterprise SDK, based on your preference right here. So we'll just take the tabs as like the default mobile, typical app mobile look and feel. So we want to take that, and then the JS framework that we want to have, we will take the Angular option, and then we'll say continue. So of course, if you saw the options there, you can import your import a project that you already have, or let's say you work on a different project, you can still import it this side and continue with your development, and that will still go through as expected. So I want to connect our Git right now. So now our Git is connected. So once our GitHub is connected, we will just click continue. So now you'll see I will go to my GitHub in a bit once all of this is done. So now it's building the app, and you will see it already created a new repository for this specific project in my GitHub because it's already linked. So basically this is in a way allowing you to have a continuous integration, continuous deployment, and this is basically giving you a CI/CD pipeline in Ionic itself, and it's the power of having such tools and being exposed and knowing these tools is that you understand how the development or the software development lifecycle goes, and the steps or the processes in between for you to end up having a solution. So you will see now it's building our app, it's already creating the repository. I don't have to do all of the steps manually, having to create the project on my local, having to create a repository and then push my changes to my repository, and then come back and configure the deployment pipeline for all of that, and linking all of these processes to make sure that when I commit changes, go and kick off a build or go and do whatever, I can just do it in one dashboard. And that's the power of Ionic, and this is what I love about it. And I'm saying you guys can also utilize this in your projects, and you can also use it in your workspaces to make your life easier. Ionic is the way to go, and I'm so happy that we are doing this, and we're starting it at the top of the year, and we will see more projects, and we will integrate. The interesting thing is we will integrate with the APIs that we've been looking into from the previous year. You will see them, how they are being called in a mobile app. You will see as we build these projects, and you will see them go live. And I hope that you do stay tuned. I hope that you do subscribe, because it's going to be a long journey. It's going to be a long year. It's going to be a busy one, and we're going to have some fun. So let's have a look at the next steps. So our project has finished building here. So everything is looking good. So you have an overview, you have commits. So you can see that there's already an init commit. And if I go to my Git, and then I go to zip code, and you will see, let me just refresh here, there should be a new repository available. Let me see, repositories, right, zip code TAT, it's available, it's here, so you can see it's private. I can make it up. I'm gonna make these two public because I want you guys to have access to these projects, so that is fine. So zip code TAT is basically that, and you can see that the code base is already committed here. Everything is ready, and I can basically come to my build over here, and then you can see it already did a build right here. And if I want a new build, I can just say new build, and I can choose which commit I want to build, and it will build that for me. But for now, I just want to look at this build. Let's look at that, and then let's go to GitHub. It will show us the commit over there, and then we can also do a, let's see, the builds. Let's go to that. So the build is still in progress, so you can see it's still loading, so it's still building, it's not done yet. So once it's done building, what we'll do is it will allow us to have a link to actually see the application. So we'll wait for it to complete, but whilst we wait, let's go back to our dashboard. So we're gonna go back, and then we are going to let's say view all apps. So we're gonna see all our apps. So we're gonna go to this one that I've already built. So if I go to my commits, you will see this is the init commit when the project was created. This is the commit that I did with my few changes on the project itself, added a few pages, changed a couple of things. And then here you can see that I was adding the Android platform, so it's available for Google Play Store, and I was just building the Android artifact over here. So there's nothing much that I did here than just to npm caps sync Android platform for the project. So if you look at the builds, now this is how the builds are looking like. So the first one, the init build, is the web, which is the default that is building on the other project. And then the iOS, I tried building this iOS, but I had not added the iOS platform on the project itself, so it couldn't find the Xcode project, hence it failed. So I had to do that, and then I'll be building that after later on, and you will get to see this as we go on the next tutorials. So, and then I made a few changes here, and then after this build failed, the iOS build failed, I did the web build, and then that went successfully, and then I had to build the Android platform, and then you can see the Android platform was successful. And if we go to, let's go to the web build that was successful, because the Android will give us the APK credential artifact, sorry, the APK artifact. So let's just say preview app on the web, and you will get to see once it's done building what it will look like. So this is basically just an overview of how the app will look like, and you can see the device that is selected is iPhone, and this is basically what I have on the app. So you can basically create the application, run it, see it live, and be able to test it, test how the deployed artifact will look like, or the deployed build will look like, and basically interact with your application. So now everything here is static. I haven't linked to any backend as yet, so we'll get to see that in action, and we will be together doing this thing, and we'll have so much fun. So the other thing that I wanted us to go through is basically, let's go back. This is just to show you how the builds are looking like and how the end product is going to look like. So let's go back to our, let's say view apps, and then let's go back to that. And this is basically our project. So once we have our project, we want to run this command as I showed you. So these commands you run basically on your terminal, and it will basically install Ionic CLI, and then you can run any Ionic command, Ionic serve, and it will basically serve you your project. And then we want to do a git clone. So let me just take, I can basically take this, or I can come to my GitHub repo here, and then I can just say open with GitHub desktop, and then it will open my GitHub desktop, and then allow me to actually clone this repository into my workspace, and then I can start working on the code base. But I'm not going to do that with this one. Let me just show you the one that I used, which is the Spring Bank project, which we are which I already downloaded a lot of these artifacts, so I don't want to waste a lot of time. So basically, this is the project that I already built, and once you basically clone that, you'll be able to get the project on your local, and then it will have like some default configs because you are using from boilerplate code, which is a template. So you'll have a lot of these available on your project, and you'll be able to now start working on it. And any changes that you have will basically reflect on your Git desktop, and you'll be able to push those, and you'll be able to commit those to your GitHub. And once they are available and they are committed on your remote repo, you'll be able to come to your Ionic dashboard and just check for the commits. Once you see the commits here, you can just do a build, or from directly from the commits, you can just start a build from there and to build your project according to what you want, building iOS, Android, and web. So basically, this is just a rundown of how Ionic simplifies a CI/CD process and allows you the flexibility to just start working on your code and not worry about the overheads of creating the repositories, linking that, and worrying about a lot of moving parts. You just need to make sure that your your Ionic configuration or workspace is set up the right way, and everything will basically take care of itself from there. And you just code and you commit your changes, and that is basically as easy as it gets. And with Ionic, you're going to see a lot of these components from your code base. You're going to see a lot of these. You're going to add a lot of meat into the bones of this project. So we had a Spring Bank project which had a lot of backend APIs. So it was not a lot, small project, but now we want to see that project in a mobile or mobile front end, and basically we'll be using that to integrate and interact with our backend server, interact with other APIs, login, logouts, sessions, notifications, and all of those. So we will get to see those in action. So basically, the last command here is just cd to the project itself. So once you are in your VS Studio Code, you basically just want to be on the current working directory, and then in here you just want to do an npm install, then install all the required packages. Then once that is done, then you want to run an Ionic serve, and then Ionic serve will just run the project for you. So Ionic serve is just to run your project, and you can just test it on local. And I think that was it in terms of getting started. I want to keep this short and sweet so that you get to see how you can achieve this same objective in your environment, and how you can set it up, and how you are going to see your projects come to life in Ionic. So it's a quick and easy setup, and once you are up and running, we will be on the roll to basically have our mobile app interact with the back end, and we will get to see a lot of action happening on our application. So as you can see here, this one, I have a home, I have a bank, which is basically empty, and then I have messages, which is empty. So I still have profile, and this component I haven't built yet. I still need to build that. Then I have menu, which I still need to build as well. So there's a lot that needs to happen in this project. So for now, I just wanted to showcase that we are starting on a new framework for mobile development, and we'll be able to integrate and interact with our application live, and we can be able to see it running. So basically, that's that's about it. And the last thing that I want to show you that I mentioned earlier. So for the Android build, once you add the Android platform on your Ionic application, once the build is successful, you can see that you can download the AAB or you can download the APK just like that. So I'll share these links, the APK, the AAB, and I'll also share the Ionic link down in the description below, and I'll also share the repositories, both this one and the new one that we created, which is ZipCodeTouch. So I will be sharing both of those down in the description below, so please do check that out, and so that you also are aware when we're making changes or there's a new tutorial that I'll be uploading for Ionic, then you'll be able to get those as well and see the changes as they happen. Or you can also choose to watch the repositories, and then you'll be notified if there's any comment or any changes over there. So basically we will be doing a whole lot of work in terms of the front-end design, and we'll be using the Spring back-end applications that we've been developing on the previous year. So I hope you guys do like and subscribe, and please definitely do stay tuned, because this is going to be a long, fun road. And up until next time, cheers for now.